Hey everybody, this is Mr. Brooks, just doing a first introduction recording of what we're going to be doing for the rest of the semester once this starts back on Monday. I wanted to just address everybody so that way you can see my physical face, even though you're going to be sitting at home watching this or at a coffee shop, whatever it happens to be. So I'm going to try to keep this short, but we're about to go over the information that I want you to see so that way you know exactly what we're going to be doing. And some changes that we're going to be making to the pacing guide that I posted at the beginning of the semester. So here we go. All right, so first things first, we are going to be cutting some of the end of the semester content. Section 4.8, 4.10, 6.5, and 6.6 will no longer be on the syllabus, so don't worry about those. That's also going to affect some of the outcomes for like our pathways, which may be dropped or modified for that. Okay. Office hours, obviously we can't do office hours in person, but what I'm going to be doing is posting discussion boards in lieu of office hours. So I'll be posting the discussion boards after each section that we cover. Those will be open for approximately a week just to get everybody's response. That way you have time to look through it. And then if you have any questions or concerns about the information that we cover, then feel free to upload either a picture of what you're working on, a question that you have of the content of that section, whatever happens to be. The nice thing, the good thing about using discussion boards, it allows us to use photo uploads or video uploads on there, whereas the chat feature in Canvas is just text-based, so it doesn't get the point across. So if you're having trouble wording a question, you can be like, okay, I'm working on this one particular problem, either from the homework or from the book, and then that way I can pinpoint exactly what that's going on. Then after I look through these questions, whatever you have, I will post a video or some typed up lecture notes based upon those questions to address those concerns. So then that way you're getting those. So it's not going to be a real as quick of real time as if you stop by my office, but this way, if one person asks this question, then everybody will get to see the response. So then that way everybody is learning something, because more than likely if somebody asks that question, you've probably got that question as well. So that's the good thing about these. So it's a little bit more information that you'll get. So there is a silver lining for us doing this online. So lectures are going to be different, a lot different. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be posting blank handouts and the completed notes under the lectures folder as before. So the new thing is you'll be getting blank handouts of what we're going to be going over. And then I'll be posting the completed notes as well. So then that way, if you want to just read those and don't listen to the videos that I'm going to be posting, that's perfectly fine. Or if you want to go along and work with it, just like what you do in class, that's also a good thing. Okay. So one thing I am going to do is I'm going to be posting mini lectures. So typically we have an hour, or we have 75 minutes for a particular day. So what I'm going to be doing is posting 15 to 25-minute lectures that are going to be splitting up the information for that section or for that lecture of that day. So then that way you don't have to listen to me ramble on for an extended period of time. And the nice thing is you get to pause these videos. And I am going to be posting this to either Google Drive or a dedicated YouTube channel, which I just created. It's Lectures by Brooks. So it's going to have Math 1226 on there and your guys' 2214 course. So then that way, if you wanted to look at the other ones, I'm not going to stop you, but you don't have to watch the 1226 lectures. You can just watch ours. All right. With this, I suggest take your time going over them, because I might go a little bit faster than what I normally do in a class, because I don't have anybody stopping me, asking me questions, or telling me to slow down. So I might fly through. But the nice thing is I will go through step by step. There won't be any skipping, and I will explain things. So the written notes will not have me explaining maybe some of the processes that I'm going through or asking kind of rhetorical questions as I go through. So what I would suggest is pause, take some time, understand what we're doing. You can rewind it, which is great. And then also before each example, I'm going to give like a 5-second pause where I won't say anything, so then that way you can stop the video during that seconds, try the problem out on your own, and then press play, and then I'll go through the problem with you. So it's going to be similar to what I do, where we pause in class, we work through a problem, or I let you work on a problem, and then we go back through explaining. So if you don't want to sit and try to write it out, you can, again, listen to me right off the bat. So the nice thing is you can take a break from this. So if, again, you don't want to hear me ramble on for over an hour and 25 minutes or 15 minutes, then you're more than welcome to. One thing I suggest is, because we do not have, the time frame like we normally do, where we meet at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays and sit through till 9:15. So I would suggest dedicating a particular time of your day, whatever happens to be. If you want to start it at 8 o'clock, I know most of you're going to be relaxing at home. So what I would suggest is dedicate a time saying, okay, we're meeting for class today on Tuesdays, Thursdays, if you want to do it at 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night, and have that dedicated hour and 15 minutes or hour and 25 minutes, depending on how much you want to go through, do it. Because then that way you have, okay, I am going to class. Okay, so I'm not going to make these, you have to show that you've watched the video or anything like that. You're more than welcome to take your time through it and whenever you want to watch it. But I would try to suggest doing a dedicated time to when these are going to be shown. And so I'm going to try to update the pacing guide a little bit for that. Okay, so that's it about lectures. Again, handouts, both blank and completed, and then lecture videos as well. Most of the time it's going to be a screen capture of me writing and then the audio. Sometimes you will get one of these videos as well, so then that way you can see I am addressing the class. It's still me teaching the class, even though my voice might sound a little wonky, and hearing a recording of myself is always weird. So and especially seeing myself in a lecture video is also kind of weird. But anyways, this way you can see that I am still handling the class and that we are going through this together. All right, homework. Just to address this a little bit, it is going to be different. But this is typically what I do for students that are sick, and we've talked about this before. Everybody has either a scanner or a laptop with a camera or a phone with a camera. So make sure that you have one of those. Let me know if you don't. We'll try to figure out something for that. So what I want to see is either a tablet. So if you have an iPad, you have a Surface or something similar, you can write on those and submit those, because that's your own written work for that. Handwritten submissions is also what I want to see, scanned in or taking a picture and submitting it in a PDF form. And I will be posting a screencast for those that are using Androids. It's really straightforward, especially where we have access to the Microsoft 365. You can use Word, post the pictures in Word, in a Word document, and then save as a PDF and send it to that particular assignment that we're going to have. So it's going to have an online submission in Canvas for you to be able to access. One thing I am going to request and mandate that it must have a signature on every page submitted. So that means either at the top, right-hand corner, the top of the page or the bottom of the page. I'm not going to dictate which corner or anything like that. But I want it to have your signature on there, so then that way you are taking ownership on the homework that you are submitting. Next thing, I want to address handwriting. This is something that is going to be very crucial, especially with the quality cameras that we have or that you might have access to. It must be clear and it must be legible. I will give a grade of a 0 if I cannot read your work. Okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. This is exactly what I want to happen, so you must make it legible. Okay? The next thing, order will be necessary. Again, to help me with grading, so then that way you get proper feedback. I want a clear distinction between problems. I don't want anything running into each other and that type of thing. I want it clear and distinct. If you're working for problems 4, 5, and 6, it's got to be 4, 5, and then 6. A nice separation between the two. Okay. The next thing, again, it must be a PDF file. This way it's a lot easier. So Canvas does get a little wonky when we're working with other files because of different versions of Microsoft Word that you're using or something else. So uploading as a PDF saves it and captures it exactly as is. That's why I'm suggesting that, or forcing that to happen, is because it makes life a lot easier for that part. And if Canvas is giving you issues, then you can email me, but I prefer that you submit by Canvas, and then that way everything is kept in that particular file for that. Again, I will be posting a screenshot for those using an Android device. I do not have access to a iPhone in order to do that, but I'll see if I can get one available. So then that way, if you are having issues with your iPhone, then we can work with that as well. All right. Important quizzes are going to continue as normal. I will be extending the dates of these assignments that were due last week and this week. I know some of you all have addressed me with that, and especially since with what has happened in the last week, I am going to be changing those due to next week. So then that way you still have time. So if you did miss, now is your opportunity to make it up. And so don't worry about it right now, but it will be due next week. Again, once an assignment, just to have this reiterated, once the assignment goes live, you'll have a week to complete it. So you have plenty of time to work on it. The most I've ever seen for an important quiz is about 8 questions. So that's something that you can easily handle in a week's time. Again, it's going to be normal format, but just I wanted to make sure that it was discussed. All right. Tests are going to be completely different this time. I know we had a test that was due this week. That is going to be changed. So it will be considered a take-home test. And I'm going to talk about it here in just a second. One thing I do want to talk about, and I'm going to probably create a survey, see if you guys want to do this, if you're up for this, is due to the shortened amount of sections, I am considering dropping the 3rd test and make test 2 longer, so it's going to have more content with it, so that not only chapter 3 but also chapter 4 information on there. And so I'm going to post a survey for the course, so then that way you guys can have an input on what you want to see. So if you want to just do one more test and then the final, you're more welcome to. That is going to change the percentages based upon the semester. And if it's a 50-50 mix, I will continue with the 3 tests. But you guys get to kind of run the show a little bit on that part. So I just wanted to give you an option on that. But again, it would change the percentages. So if you felt like, hey, I had a great test 1 and then I just have one test 2, you get to take a little bit longer time with this test as well, just to give you that information. All right, so to continue on talking about test, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a 48-hour period to complete it. So you get to have as much time as you need, but think about this. I won't be posting a lot of questions based from the book. These are going to be ones that I create, so then that way it's a lot harder for you to cheat. Again, I just want you to work it on your own. The nice thing is you will be given at least a week's notice before it begins. So if I were to post a test this Friday, this is your announcement right now. But I think I'm going to hold off for doing test 2 right now for this coming week, so then that way we can prepare. And also, if you guys want to just do one more test and then the final, that's what we'll do. All right. So what's going to happen though is I will be posting a test on a Friday, and it will be due that Sunday evening by 11:59 p.m. So then that way you have plenty of time to work it. So it's probably going to open at 8 o'clock. So you got more than 48 hours. But this way, if there's any issues with you accessing internet, you have a couple of days to figure out a solution to that, or to let me know if any problems arise. Okay. It will follow the same protocols for homework, but it will have a restricted time during the 48-hour window. So again, PDF format, signed at the bottom of every page, clear and legible handwriting, no arrows or running into other problems, that sort of thing. And I want it to be organized. Okay. So the nice thing is you still don't have to print off the test. So if you wanted to, okay, here's my work for problem number 1, number 2, number 3, that type of thing, and then circle your answer to show, okay, this is what I'm at. So then that way we can have a clear, concise way of doing things. All right. So that's it for tests. Again, we may be dropping test 3 and making test 2 a little bit more beefy of a test, but that means also you still get a 48-hour window to work on it, whereas you only have a 75-minute window in a particular test day. So this gives you a lot more time to work on it. Okay, and those that are double time, since it's a take-home test, that would, and I don't think I have anybody in this course, but if you did, take-home tests are not considered under the double time unless it's specifically stated. So this means you still have 48 hours to work on a test. Okay, and I'm not going to make it something that is going to be overwhelmingly like a 2-hour test. I'm still going to try to keep it within the confines of our class that we normally deal with. It might be a little bit longer just because I want to cover the information. Okay. All right, final exam will be conducted the same as other tests. They will be considered take-home. Again, PDF format, signed at the bottom of every page, clear and legible handwriting, that type of thing. So guys, I think we are not going to have a common time exam. So that means I will be writing the final exam. But I have not had clarification yet for what's going to go on for the final exam, but I will let you know as soon as I find out. So I wanted to address that right now too, to let you know. All right, so again, same format with that, and it will be due, or we're going to try to do is due on the day that we were going to have the final exam as well, and end at that time. So that's when the due date will be. So that one's going to be a little bit different on when it's going to be published versus when it's due on that part. All right, some reassurances before I close out this video is I wanted to take a moment and let you know, guys, I do care about your information and that you learned something from this course. But another thing is I'm glad that we actually took these measures to keep you guys away from campus, because those that had traveled and maybe not even known that they had come in contact with anybody. So that's the kind of the scary thing, or the weird thing about this virus, is you can be a carrier without showing, just like the flu on that part. But this one is a little bit more as a new challenge that we've never faced before. But if you do get sick, I want you to first take care of yourself. I care about you guys. But once you start taking care of yourself, if you do get sick when assignments due, let me know, and then you can work out a solution to how to get it submitted and whatnot. Okay. Just like if you got sick during the middle of the course and I had an assignment due, we can work things out. All right. I just want to let you know, guys, I'm also figuring this whole thing out as we go. But I do have this game plan for the rest of the semester. So we're going to try to keep that prescribed as much as possible. If something changes, I get sick or something like that, we'll figure out something for that. But I'm going to try to get it as far ahead as possible with my lectures, and then that way you're not missing any information. One thing I do need from you is I need you to do your part. I know that you don't have the dedicated class time that we had before. So I need you guys to focus on what you're doing, listen to the lectures, or at least review the lectures notes that I post. Push yourselves through this, because this is going to be more emphasis on you. And I want you to learn something. That's the whole goal of this course anyways, is for you to walk away knowing something more about mathematics. And I want you to enjoy it. So I know it's going to be a lot different because you don't get to ask me in real time. One thing I do want to state is at some point throughout the semester, I'm going to try to do this like every other week. I will do a couple hours of Zoom and post it on Canvas. So if you ever want to stop in, ask a real-time question, or just say, hey, how's it going? I'll do that for you, okay? And so I'll try to be mindful of those that are in different time zones, or both nationally and internationally. So then that way you can have a chance to stop in and say, hey, so I might do some in the later evenings, I might do some in the morning. So then that way it's a good blend of wherever you're at. Again, so the nice thing about this, so you're probably going to hate this part, is I'm going to try to make my lectures as thorough as possible. So that means there is going to be more information that I post, but that means also I'm going to walk through problems in more detail. So then that way you have a clear, defined way of working with problems, how to address them, what type of process to think about when you're approaching these problems. So that's what I'm going to be doing on that end. And this way, hopefully, as the more thorough that I make it, that will address any issues that may arise. But again, that's what the discussion boards are going to be used for. So that way, if you have any lingering questions, you can ask them then. All right, so guys, we're going to get through this together. I know we can do it, and I just want you all guys to stay safe, and hopefully next semester in the fall, we'll see each other. So if you ever want to swing by, provided that we get to do a physical course again in the fall, we don't know how this is going to turn out, but provided that we can, I want you guys to stop by and say, hey. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the semester. And again, I'll be posting more lecture videos and more of these State of the Union course videos that we have, so then that way you can still see that I'm the one running the show here. So, all right, You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.